If you work in Japan, health insurance, employment insurance, and other premiums are deducted from your salary. So what you may eventually receive is around 80% of your base salary. The monthly salary that you receive can be found in the earnings column, which is the sum of your basic salary and various benefits. You will probably confirm your salary first before joining a company, but the usual setup is where your salary is the basic pay plus allowances. So hello everyone, this is Cam from Swimmy channel. So for today's video, I'll be explaining the Japanese salary system and how to understand the Japanese payslip, which are definitely important matters to take note of before working in Japan. Do you understand the difference between face value or gross salary, the gakumen kyuyo, and take-home pay or net salary, the teidori kyuyo? Also, did you know that in Japan, payments for social insurance, employment insurance are deducted from your salary? This video is not only for foreigners who are already working in Japan, but also for those who want to work in Japan. If you have any questions or you want to know more information, feel free to ask in the comment section. We'll reply to each of your questions. If you work in Japan, health insurance, employment insurance, and other premiums are deducted from your salary. So what you may eventually receive is around 80% of your base salary. If you don't know about these details, you might encounter some difficulties later on. So please make sure to watch until the end of this video. Okay, so first let's talk about the payslip. The face value salary, the gakumen kyuyo, or your gross salary refers to the general salary presented to you when you receive your employment contract. The take-home salary, the teidori kyuyo, is what you receive in your account after the deductions are made from your gross salary. So let's look at the payslip, shall we? So here you can see 3 examples of the payslip. There are 3 major parts in your payslip. So attendance. So attendance shows how much you worked in the month. Payment or earnings, which is over here. Payment or earnings, which detail the basic pay and any allowances you receive. And then deductions. So deductions are usually in these parts, which show what was subtracted from the earnings. So for attendance, let's take a closer look. So for this payslip. So for attendance, your work status such as number of working days in the month, working hours, overtime hours, absentee work, late work, and your leaves are usually found here. And then for earnings or your payment, this is where you can find your pay based on your attendance or your overtime pay fees, allowances like your commuting allowance or housing allowance. So over here in deductions, so social insurance premiums and taxes that are deducted from your salary, and this can vary depending on your company's payment scheme. Sometimes union fees and group insurance premiums are also deducted from your earnings. The monthly salary that you receive can be found in the earnings column, which is the sum of your basic salary and various benefits. You will probably confirm your salary first before joining a company, but the usual setup is where your salary is the basic pay plus allowances. Your annual salary is the sum of a year's worth of salary plus the bonus that you receive in the summer and winter. From this salary, deductions are made monthly, which are payments for social insurance, taxes, and other expenses required for each company. The amount you receive after deductions is called teidori or your take-home pay. And on the payslip, you can find it written under Sashihiki Shikyu Gaku, which means your net payment or your net salary. So as you can see, there are 4 types of social insurance. There's the welfare pension, there's the health insurance, the employment insurance, and the nursing insurance. So this is for people from 40 years old and above. For the taxes, we have 2 kinds of taxes. There's the income tax, which is paid to the national government, and the residence tax, which is paid to the local government, and this is usually from the 2nd year of joining the company. Other deductions will include maybe union fees or other payments. Also, for both full-time employees and part-time workers, there can be some deductions that are not included or even added depending on your contract. I will explain the different insurance payments, taxes, and other deductions in detail in another video. For now, I'll explain a little bit more on how wages are calculated and how you end up with your salary. The basic salary or base pay is calculated by each company according to age, years of service, ability, so ability to perform duties, or duties, which are actual tasks done at work, the roles, and achievements. If you are a full-time employee, the amount being offered for your basic pay will be displayed in the payslip. And if you're a part-time employee, the hourly wage being offered in the contract times the number of hours worked will also be shown. For part-time workers, it's pretty straightforward. You're being paid for each hour you work. However, in the case of full-time or contract employees, the number of working days and working hours for the month is decided beforehand and is stated in the employment contract. Please take note that if you do not complete or fulfill the number of working days or hours specified in your employment contract, you may have deductions from your basic salary. In addition to the basic salary, wages paid for overtime work, work on holidays, and other similar allowances, although not obligatory, are paid independently by the company as part of the employee's benefits. It is definitely necessary to confirm these benefits before signing an employment contract. In Japan, there are a large number of full-time employees and contract employees who have benefits, while there are many part-time workers who do not have benefits. The most common allowance is the commuting allowance, where transportation expenses are provided to commute to and from work. If you're a full-time employee or a contract employee, you should also check whether there is a housing allowance. So for overtime work allowance, a company's working hours will usually follow the legal working hours prescribed by the government, which is 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week. Overtime work allowances will be paid for any excess of the specified working hours as agreed between the company and employee, and premium wages will be paid for exceeding the legal working hours. So the Labor Standards Act stipulates that for work that exceeds the legal working hours, an additional payment to the hourly base salary will be applied. So the base salary will be converted into an hourly wage. Then this hourly wage rate will be multiplied by the number of extra hours and then multiplied again by at least 1.25. If you work on a statutory or national holiday, the hourly wage will be multiplied by at least 1.35. And if you work overtime late into the night, so in principle from around 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. the next day, your hourly wage rate will be multiplied by at least 1.5. So for example, you calculated that the hourly wage rate is 1,000 yen. You will then be paid 1,500 yen or more per hour if you work late at night. So regarding commuting or transportation allowance, the allowance for commuting can be a fixed standard rate or it can be the actual cost of the commute. Various allowances are basically subject to taxes such as income tax and residence tax. But commuting allowances when using public transportation or toll roads are tax-free up to 150,000 yen per month. According to the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare's General Survey on Working Conditions, the average amount paid by companies that provide commuting allowances was approximately 11,400 yen per month. So for housing allowance, the company subsidizes some of the rent for employees' rental properties and mortgages for homeowners. According to the General Survey on Working Conditions, the average amount paid by companies providing housing allowances was about 70,000 yen per month. So about family allowance or dependent allowance. This allowance is provided to employees who support their families. There are spouse allowances for spouses and children support allowances for children. According to the General Survey on Working Conditions, the average amount paid by companies that provide family allowances was about 70,000 yen per month. Due to an increase in dual income households, however, and the review of allowances that are not directly related to work output, there are also petitions to reduce or eliminate spouse allowances. In addition, there are other unique allowances for each company, such as single assignment allowance, qualification allowance, full-time allowance, short distance allowance paid to people living within a certain distance from the company, and birth allowance for the problem of declining birth rate, and others. So let's talk about the special salary paid by a company in addition to the monthly salary paid to employees, also called a bonus or a lump sum payment. Generally, it is paid twice a year in summer around June and July and winter around December, and employs a performance-based bonus mechanism wherein the bonus increases or decreases once a year according to your work performance. Since there are many companies, we recommend that you check their procedures carefully before deciding and signing an employment contract. There are many testimonies out there where employees say they get their bonus twice a year after joining the company, such as, I get the bonus twice a year, but if I get good results, sometimes I get the bonus 3 times. Be sure to check the bonus system before joining the company, as bonuses that are not actually stated in the employment contract often become the cause of dispute between the employee and the company later on. In some cases, annual income which is written on the contract generally includes bonuses. Thank you for watching this video until the end. This time, I explained a little bit more about the Japanese salary system with the focus on the Japanese payslip, particularly the earnings or the payment portion. Is it a little bit easier to understand the details about the Japanese salary system and the Japanese payslip now? I will explain the deductions portion of the payslip as well as taxes and payments for social insurance in another video, so be sure to check that out. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. We are also accepting requests for more video content, so please don't hesitate and let us know by leaving comments. If you like this video, then please like it and subscribe to our channel. See you again in the next video. Bye-bye!